One of our top stories this morning. Crime was on the rise in Missoula during 2017, with felony case filings going up significantly, according to Deputy County Attorney Jason Marks. In 2016, there were 671 new felonies. In 2017, 736, an increase of just under 10%. However, the number of child abuse and neglect cases was on the rise, and Mark said he thinks he knows why.
I could say anecdotally, the attorneys working on those cases would tell you that substance abuse is the driving force in the vast majority, especially methamphetamine. Alcohol's always been an issue, but over the last several years, corresponding to our increase in methamphetamine prosecutions, we've had an increase of families really devastated by that drug.
The numbers are clear that Missoula meth cases have increased significantly.
There's just a flood of supply coming in, and it's hard to deal with from a reactive law enforcement perspective. Just methamphetamine cases, say going back, call it 5 years to 2012, we had 47 in 2012, and now we're up to about 130, roughly triple.
The county attorney's office is already busy in 2018. There were 14 new felony cases during the last week, including some involving methamphetamine and what Marks describes as, quote, a rash of serious domestic violence cases, end quote. Police in southwestern Montana are investigating a fatal shooting and have taken one person into custody. Gallatin County authorities say police were called about 9 o'clock Sunday morning and found one person dead and another injured at a residence in Belgrade. Both had suffered apparent gunshot wounds. Belgrade Police Chief E.J. Clark says investigators identified a suspect who was taken into custody. No other names or details were immediately released. Authorities are investigating the death of a man on Montana's Fort Belknap Indian Reservation. The Haber Daily News reports 48-year-old Antonio Castillo was found dead of hypothermia back on December 29. FBI Supervisory Agent Travis Burrows said the agency is investigating the case in coordination with the Fort Belknap Police Department and the Blaine County Coroner. Blaine County Undersheriff Frank Billmeyer said in an email that Castillo died in an aged camper trailer with insufficient heat for the sub-zero air temperatures present at the time of his death. Billmeyer said there's no indication of any cause of death other than hypothermia and exposure. New U of M President Seth Bodnar is settling into his position, said he's working on 4 basic areas to improve the university.
How does the University of Montana ensure that it is a model of excellence and innovation for a modern university? And what I mean by that is, how do we understand truly what our strengths are and how we can apply those strengths to the greatest opportunities to deliver the most impactful results for our students, for the taxpayers of Montana, and for this country? The second priority is we need to run a tight ship. Obviously, in a world of constrained resources, we need to make sure that we are running this institution as effectively, as productively as we can. The third is really embodying the saying. One of the things I used to say during my military days is that the mission first, but people always.
And Bodnar said recruitment will always be a priority.
The fourth priority is just making sure that we're recruiting the top students from around the state of Montana and the entire country, that we're retaining those students, and that we're successfully graduating them in 4 years. So I'll be looking really across those 4 thematic priorities, learning how we're doing in each of those areas and where we can do better.
Bodnar was chosen by the Board of Regents from a national search, will earn over $330,000 per year with benefits. A university dean in Missoula says only one female permanent dean remains at the U of M, creating a gender balance issue. The Missoulian reported last week the Dean of Libraries, Shali Zhang, has left as the only female permanent dean after 2 other female leaders will leave their posts. Christopher Comer, who leads the College of Humanities and Sciences, said the departures have created an issue that cannot be ignored. Women at that time outnumbered men on the president's cabinet, but the ratio changed after President Sheila Stearns and interim provost Beverly Edmonds leave the university. The university leaders say the institution is committed to diversity in its hires. To close out 2017, the Missoula Housing Authority completed the purchase of the Wildflower Apartments at Russell and 34th in order to retain them as affordable low-income housing. Executive Director Lori Davidson said the apartments went up for sale several months ago, and she saw the importance of keeping the property as affordable as possible.
One of the dangers that we saw in this project going on the market was that we would lose it to our affordable housing. We would lose it from our affordable housing inventory. If a market rate developer buys the property, they have the right to take the rents up to a market rate level and not continue it as an affordable property.
Davidson revealed the purchase price for the 96-unit complex.
The purchase price was $8.2 million. We knew that this was going to be a very competitive bid for the purchase, so we put in the highest bid that we could possibly give them, and we were the successful bidder.
Davidson said all the units are rented and there's a significant waiting list. For information, contact the Missoula Housing Authority by clicking the story on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. Family members say the 3-year-old Montana girl who was attacked by a dog in Billings has been released from the hospital. Naomi Brown was flown to the Denver area and underwent surgery early last week at Children's Hospital to repair damaged ligaments in her right wrist. Shadow Card said the bull mastiff also injured her daughter's face and neck in the attack. Card said Naomi was being watched at her grandmother's house when the attack occurred. They are not sure what provoked the dog. The dog had been euthanized. Card told the Billings Gazette Friday her daughter still had considerable swelling, but she's in good spirits. Missoula police investigating the theft of a dinosaur from a Noon's Sinclair station. High Noon's marketing manager Earl Allen explained what happened last Friday night.
Our store over at the corner of East Broadway and Madison about a week ago when our latest winter storm was raging around town and knocked out the power. That store had one of our dinosaur sculptures stolen right from out in front of the store. Our beloved baby Dino, as we like to call her, has gone missing.
Oh, little Dino isn't that little. 6 feet long, 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide. Allen said this isn't the first time this has happened.
A few years back, the Sinclair truck stop out at the Y lost a fiberglass dinosaur that someone had taken off with, and we actually got that back and had to repair it. And then a few years before that, someone grabbed one. That one ended up somewhere on the banks of the Clark Fork, I think over by Orange Street Bridge.
Allen said the dinosaur is aluminum and valued at over $4,000. Newstalk Times 612.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Patchy freezing fog and a few lingering light showers will be possible this morning. By the afternoon, though, we'll see partly cloudy skies with our temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. A wintry mix of rain and snow again tonight. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.